Balessa for sponsoring this video. Stay tuned for an awesome giveaway. Hi friends! 2023 has been a big year. I moved into this new apartment, I got engaged. However, 2023 was also filled with so many moments in pop culture that just kind of made my jaw drop. So as the year comes to a close, I thought it would be fun to rank some of the wonderful, wacky, and absolutely wildly cringe things that happened this year. Theater edition, or entertainment edition, or my own personal niche interests edition. Whatever it is, we're gonna rank it. Also, if this is your first time seeing my face, hi, my name is Kat. I really like musicals. If you really like musicals, hit subscribe to join the musical theater internet cult. Did I say cult? I meant cat. I meant cat. Musical theater internet cat. I'd love to hear from you. What's something that happened in your life this year? Share it in the comments down below. I'd love to see. Also, feel free to play along and rank these things. Real quick, let's take a moment to thank today's sponsor. Thank you to Balessa for sponsoring today's video. They've set up some insanely cool giveaways, so be sure to stay tuned to learn how you can get yours. Literally, because Balessa is a company created by women for all things sexual wellness. Their mission is to empower their community to embrace and explore their sexuality unapologetically. They want to not only normalize pleasure, but celebrate it. And because Balessa is focused on inclusivity, there's something for everybody. So let's take a look at some of their best-selling cult classic products. First up, we've got the Pebble. Ergonomically designed to fit in the palm of your hand, the Pebble offers both suction and vibration, both of which can be adjusted independently. Best of all, no annoying pattern modes you have to cycle through. Next up, we've got the Air Vibe. The Air Vibe is a dual stimulation vibrator with both G-spot and clitoral vibes. It's very quiet and also very powerful. And of course, waterproof. You can also upgrade your experience with the Air Vibe Pro. All the perks of the classic Air Vibe, plus a wireless remote controller. Make game time a little easier or add a second player. I've heard the Thump described as the Swiss Army knife of vibes, and that assessment is spot on because it does it all. Vibrates, suctions, and yep, you guessed it, thumps. Utilizing Balessa's improved pleasure jet technology, it was designed to be the ultimate external vibe, featuring their innovative thump technology on the back of the pop grip. Balessa's products are beautiful and high quality. You discreetly and adorably store them in compact, colorful USB charging cases. And speaking of discretion, shipping and packaging is ultra discreet, so no worries, your nosy neighbors aren't gonna see anything interesting. But you can, over on Balessa. They do incredible deals and giveaways. They even set one up for us. So if you're interested in winning free vibes, gift cards, and more, click the link down below. Everyone's a winner. Thank you so much to Balessa for sponsoring this segment, and now, back to the video. I tried to include a lot of the big events that happened this year, but if you're playing along at home, please feel free to add anything I missed. You can include stuff like the Succession finale, or Charles Melton calling Riverdale his Juilliard. So many good options. We're also gonna rank this on a traditional tier list, with S being the best, followed by A, B, C, followed by You Sure It's Not a Joke? And then bottom tier is absolutely cursed. Kicking it off with something that was a major talking point this year, Barbenheimer. Aside from two fantastic movies being released on the same day, I feel like this was such a big cultural moment. I feel like there hasn't been a moment of this much like collective hype and anticipation in a while, in a really fun way, almost in the way that like the Olympics or like old Marvel movies or the Harry Potter books and films, that sort of hype. Additionally, the entire Barbie marketing campaign was out of this world, including Margot Robbie paying homage to different Barbies on the red carpet during her press tours. I thought that was really, really cool. Do you know what? I'm gonna put this in A tier. Should I put this in A tier? I'll put it in B tier. B for Barbenheimer. I'm gonna scooch Barbenheimer up to A tier. Twitter became X. And it's a shame too, because I used to really like Twitter, not only because it was fun, but it was really helpful for like ultra local news. It was good in emergency situations to get information. I think I'm just impressed with the sheer speed of which Twitter imploded on itself, because it went from like a really, really great social media app to almost unusable. Rest in rip Twitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this under absolutely cursed. Next, Phantom of the Opera closing. That was a shocker to me. I thought Phantom of the Opera was for sure one of those shows that was gonna run forever, and in a way it did. I mean, 35 years is an incredibly successful run. And you know, maybe some part of me is, I think naive to think that it could have lasted forever. All empires must come to an end, as they say. And I'm sure it'll live on. Like, I'm sure it'll get a revival or a tour, maybe some sort of revisal. You know, it could be called bad Phantom of the Opera. That's just Love Never Dies though. Niche Andrew Lloyd Webber based burn. I'm gonna go ahead and put Phantom of the Opera closing under B tier because it had a wonderfully successful run. I love Phantom of the Opera. It's what got me into musicals. I'm bidding it a fond farewell and I'm excited to see what the next chapter holds for it. After years and years stuck in development hell, the Wicked movie finally started production. Honestly, I'm putting that straight to S tier. Yeah, I'm going with an S tier this early on. I remember being on the Universal Studios tram tour when I was like 11 and the Wicked movie was in development. I feel like I've been waiting my entire life for this film, so I'm very, very excited to finally see it when it comes out. I'm so excited just by the sheer scale of it. I talked about it a little bit more in a previous video, so I'll link that down below if you want more. I'm not sure if the Wicked movie really needs to be 2 parts, but that remains to be seen. Undoubtedly, I am very excited for the Wicked movie. But along with the Wicked movie came a celebrity couple that the world became fascinated by, of Ariana Grande and the senior boy in your BFA musical theater class, Ethan Slater. This guy, no, he's got Santa Fe from Newsies in his book. He's got Goodbye from Catch Me If You Can. The guy who just unprompted whips out his guitar at every house party. You didn't even see him walk in with his guitar, but he's got it. Somehow he's playing. That's gonna go into, you sure it's not a joke? Because it would be funny if it weren't so sad. One of my personal favorites, The Last of Us TV series finally came to fruition and oh my god, it was so good. I'm putting this one also straight to S tier. I love The Last of Us. If you don't know, I'm a big video game nerd. Literally between the second to last episode to the finale of The Last of Us, we replayed the entirety of The Last of Us Part 2 because it was so good we didn't want it to end. God, I almost did a whole video on The Last of Us and I still almost want to because I have a lot of thoughts on season 2. Actually, I have a very, very specific thought that I want to talk about for season 2, so I might do a video. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. Also, I love Pedro Pascal and I love this like Pedro Pascal mania that has been created from The Mandalorian and The Last of Us, and like Pedro Pascal has been a working actor for a very long time. He's done Game of Thrones, he was on Narcos, he's done Shakespeare, every cop procedural drama, including one where he looked like this. He's been a working actor for a while, and I'm just so stoked that now he's getting like the recognition and love he deserves. Okay, so let's talk about the fall of the Nepo baby. I know Nepo baby has been a very hot term this past year and even before, but I'm so glad that that era is seemingly starting to trickle off. Here's my thing on Nepo babies. As long as you're actually genuinely talented and your parent just happened to be the catalyst that like opened the door for you to get the opportunity, I'm so fine with it. For instance, I think Maya Hawke is an incredible actor and her trajectory was just infinitely faster because who her parents are. So I'm gonna put the fall of the Nepo baby, I'm gonna put that in C tier. The writer's strike and the actor's strike. Okay, so this could also just be another much longer conversation. While there are some great terms, I think, for the writers that were negotiated, I think there are still protections for actors that still weren't quite met. I'm glad that the strike is over, oh my god, because that was so terrible, the way that like the major corporations dragged this out, the intention behind just leaving people without work, and then in the end, all of these major streamers and companies still ended up hemorrhaging money. I am curious to see what happens with streamers in the coming year or two because we had so much good music this year, oh my gosh, and I just want to point out, like, especially Guts by Olivia Rodrigo, we had Beyonce's Renaissance concert film, we had Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess by Chappell Roan, which if you haven't heard that, go listen to it. I think that's been my favorite album of the year. So I just wanted to say, I love women and S tier. Absolute S tier. Additionally, I don't think we could talk about women in music without talking about the one, the only, Becky. Taylor Swift has had a massive year, needless to say, with the release of Midnights, with her Eras Tour, with the Eras Tour concert film, being named Times Person of the Year, and the Eras Tour became the first concert tour to ever surpass $1 billion in profit. And it's not even done yet, so I'm gonna have to put Tay-Tay. Taylor Swift always goes straight to S tier for me. So next up, I actually put this as a separate item, but we've got Taylor and Travis, because I feel like this is so much, there's so much going on here. If they're happy, they're having fun, I love it for them. I think the impact and the way that this relationship has been broadcast has been so interesting. The way it's affected the NFL, the way that it's launched Taylor Swift and her relationships back into the limelight in a way that I haven't seen since like the 2010s. It's interesting to see how quickly and how aggressively the pendulum swifts. And don't get me wrong, like, no one is immune to criticism. Like, if there's fair criticism, I totally get it. But it's been very interesting and kind of tough to watch. Honestly, perfect time to drop Reputation. I almost want to put it under You Sure It's Not a Joke? Just because the way that history is repeating itself with everyone being like, ew, Taylor Swift. A celebrity couple I never could have called, and they're Taylor adjacent. Let's talk Bo Burnham and Phoebe Bridgers. I kind of love them together. Like, it's something I never saw coming, but totally makes sense. I remember when that video of Bo at Phoebe's concert went viral and everyone speculating and talking about it, and I didn't believe it until the Eras tour. When Nicole Kidman uploaded a video. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. Nicole Kidman uploading a video that just had them making out in the background. Nicole Kidman, Hot Break feels good in a place like, you know, I'm gonna put them in A tier because I think they're both magnificently talented and I'm big fans of them both. Doubt it'll happen because it seems like they're a very private couple, but I'd love to maybe see Bo interview Phoebe for something. I feel like that'd be really compelling and a really great conversation. In what has probably become my favorite story of the year, Congresswoman Lauren Bobert was escorted out of the national tour of Beetlejuice the musical for singing along, taking selfies, and vaping. Allegedly. Among other things. Allegedly. Everything about that moment was just so beautiful. Like, that's already top tier comedy, an adult getting kicked out of a musical for vaping and making out. But then you tell me it was a congresswoman? And then you tell me it was the national tour of Beetlejuice the musical. It's just so perfect. Lauren Bobert, Lauren Bobert, Lauren Bobert, you are going into You Sure It's Not a Joke? Because you sure it's not a joke? In the absolute whisper of what was supposed to be a bang, The Idol came out on HBO, which is now just Max. I think all of the streaming services should start abbreviating their names, but it has to be to a human name, like Max. What you doing later? Do you wanna Jennifer and chill? The Idol! Some of the most cringe-inducing writing. Delusional choices from the team. All of the logistical issues behind the scenes that were clearly evident on screen. But I think what's been so interesting about The Idol and kind of like the collapse of Euphoria and all of these Sam Levinson properties, which again, how quickly the pendulum swings, like how beloved Euphoria was so recently. I think it's crazy how all of this has just kind of disappeared with a whimper. Like, I thought it would go out with a bang. And I think it's because probably the things that made Euphoria so good still exist in other places, like Zendaya's incredible acting ability. She's off doing projects. Petra Collins's really cool vibe, which was ostensibly plagiarized for the show. She's out directing a bunch of stuff. And then The Idol was not only a mess and a half, so much potential got wasted because there was an earlier iteration of The Idol that had a much more 2000s influence. I think it was also a female director. I'm so curious what that could have been, but alas, I'm kind of fine that everything's done. So The Idol, I'm gonna have to put you in absolutely cursed because some of that dialogue haunts me to this day. What I genuinely did think was a joke, and this is actually maybe the most mind-melting story of the year, has gotta be Colleen Ballinger's Toxic Gossip Train song. Before she even started, I figured it would be in the YouTuber Non-Apology Apology Hall of Fame, but the second she whipped out a ukulele, something in my brain broke. It really could have been a sketch. Just absolutely jaw-dropping. I'm gonna put that under You Sure It's Not a Joke? Because I wish it was. I really wish it was. Oh, next up, we've got the antithesis of the Barbie marketing strategy, and that's gonna be the Mean Girls trailer. I'm really excited for the Mean Girls movie musical, but that trailer just was so, it just missed the mark so hard. I could talk about this forever, so if you want to hear more, I actually did a whole video on it, so I'll link it down below. The Mean Girls movie, the musical, the trailer, the series, not having any music aside from Olivia Rodrigo, that's gonna go in You Got a Joke. And perhaps the silliest story of the year. Before being ejected from Congress, former US Representative George Santos said a lot of things. One of them being the claim that he produced the Broadway hit musical Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. He was not on the producing team of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. And I think what's so funny about it is that because it's so blatant and so verifiable that it sounds like something an elementary school kid would say. I'm producing Spider-Man the Musical the Broadway. Also, Bono gave me Spidey powers, so I'm basically Spider-Man now and I have Spidey senses and now I don't have to do school. George Santos' Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. Oh god, does that go under a joke? Does it go under absolutely cursed? Do I just put it in S tier for the camp of it all? Yeah, I think it's going straight to the top. This is going straight to the top. S tier it is! So there you go, I hope you guys had fun ranking these iconic 2023 pop culture moments. Go ahead and rank them in the comments down below. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Again, thanks to Valessa for sponsoring this video. I hope you have a wonderful start to the new year. I love you so, so much. Break a leg, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!